We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Hey, y'all, Trump just admitted twice, not one time, twice. Our country is at a tipping point.
And he said, I don't know if people mind me saying it, but he's saying it. We could go bad or the other way. We can go bad.
And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from.
Has come under fire. Hundreds of social service workers publicly are blaming him for a massive fraud scandal that's been rocking the welfare system in the state. Staff at Minnesota Human Services Department say widespread false billing allegedly funneled more than $1 billion in taxpayer funds to nonprofits that are tied to the Somali community. Now, they claim Walz ignored their warnings, even punished whistleblowers. Officials now are still uncovering how deep the fraud went and whether any of the money may have reached terror groups overseas. Investigative correspondent Rich McHugh has been all over this story, really from the jump, as they say. Joins us now. What's the governor's office saying about these new developments?
Hi, Connell. Well, we asked, and the governor's office isn't formally commenting on these posts that were posted onto X as of yesterday by allegedly hundreds of DHS, Minnesota DHS workers. I'll read some just because they're stunning in the rebuke of Governor Walz. Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud, but no, we got the opposite response. They continue. Tim Walz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering who we can turn to. Now, in an interesting development, this afternoon, that account was suspended from X for a period of hours, but then put back online. There was a lot of outcry as a commentary account and under a slightly different name with the same amount of followers. We asked the Department of Human Services, in Minnesota, to confirm if they are associated with this in any way, and they said they could not. What is not in question here, Connell, is the amount of fraud. We're talking $1 billion in fraud that we've reported on. Governor was asked about it yesterday on Meet the Press. Take a listen.
Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy.
Well, it's not just a few, Connell. We've talked to federal sources. They've confirmed it for us. Of the 86 that have been indicted so far, 79 of them are of Somali descent. So it's not a very small bunch. It's the majority of those who have been indicted to date. And they tell us this number is going to go up.
Okay, now I mentioned at the top this concern about maybe some of the money being transferred to groups overseas. What can you tell us, if anything, about that?
So we also have our own reporting on this. We talked to federal sources, both current, former, and also joint terrorism sources who said, yes, this money makes its way to Somalia. And of that money, there's a cut of it that goes to an al-Qaeda linked terror group, Al-Shabaab. They said, we can't do a forensic accounting of it because we don't know once it's over there, but it's there for sure. And they were unequivocal about it.
Which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's bold, to take their people home. 2 million people have gone home already. The people that were here illegally, you've removed from our country and sent home. And we're going to send more home for the holidays, too, and make sure that they get to be with their families in their countries. Yes.
Mostly the bad ones.
That's right.
Focus is the bad ones.
That's right.
And there are a lot of them.
They're terrible, horrible people. And Pam, make sure she's fighting to look into Minnesota and their fraud on visas and their programs. 50% of them are fraudulent, which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's bold, sir. He brought people in there illegally that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. Fraudulent visa applications, signed up for government programs, took hundreds of billions of dollars from the taxpayers, and we're going to remove them and we're going to get our money back. And we're going to, this next year, make sure that we only put people in leadership positions in this country that love this country and have its back. So thank you for letting us get up every day and have a purpose. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Christy. Appreciate it.
And they shouldn't be in our country.
What do you mean by those people? Can you clarify?
The people from different countries that are not friendly to us and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government.
Trump also defended his attack on Walz.
I think there's something wrong with him. Anybody that would do what he did, anybody that would allow those people into his state,